A long time ago, in a small village by the hills, the people lived simple lives. They grew their own food, took care of their animals, and helped each other. But many people in the village did not know about God. They worked hard every day, but their hearts felt empty and sad. One day, Jesus came to the village. He wore simple clothes, and his face was kind and full of light. He walked with calm steps and smiled at everyone he met. The children ran to him, and the old people blessed him. There was a man in the village named Samuel. Samuel was strong and smart, but he was often angry and afraid. He worked hard in the fields, but never felt happy. He heard people talking about Jesus and how he healed the sick and spoke about God's love. Samuel said to himself, "I want to meet this man. Maybe he can help me." Samuel walked through the village and found Jesus sitting under a big olive tree. Some people were sitting around him, listening to his words. Samuel came close and said, "Teacher, I have a question." Jesus looked at him with warm eyes and said, "Ask my friend." Samuel said, "People say you talk about God, but how can I believe in God? I have never seen him. I feel lost and alone." Jesus nodded kindly. He said, "Come, sit with me." Samuel sat down on the grass. The sun was soft, and a cool breeze touched their faces. Jesus said, "Samuel, look at the sky above you. Who made the sky so wide and full of light?" Samuel looked up. The sky was big and beautiful with soft white clouds. "I don't know," Samuel said. "Maybe it was always there." Jesus smiled and said, "And the trees that give you fruit, the rivers that give you water, the sun that gives you warmth, who made these things?" Samuel thought for a moment. He had never asked himself these questions before. Jesus said gently, "Samuel, all these things were made by God. He made the earth, the sky, the trees, the rivers, and he made you. Even if you cannot see God with your eyes, you can see his work everywhere." Samuel looked around. He saw the green grass, the flowers, the tall mountains. He felt the wind on his face and the sun on his skin. "But why can't I see God?" Samuel asked. Jesus answered, "You cannot see the wind, but you can feel it. You cannot see love, but you know when someone loves you. In the same way, you may not see God with your eyes, but you can feel him in your heart." Samuel put his hand on his heart. He wanted to believe, but he still felt unsure. He said, "But sometimes I feel afraid. Sometimes I feel angry. If God is real, why do I feel this way?" Jesus looked at him with great love and said, "Because your heart is like a cup. When it is full of fear and anger, there is no room for God's love. But if you pour out your fear and your anger, God will fill your heart with peace." "How can I do that?" Samuel asked. Jesus said, "You must talk to God. Close your eyes. Speak to him like you speak to a dear friend. Tell him your fears, your anger, your sadness. Ask him to help you. Trust that he hears you." Samuel closed his eyes for a moment. He had never prayed before. He felt shy. Jesus said, "God is not far away. He is close to you, closer than your own breath. You only need to open your heart to him." Samuel opened his eyes. There were tears in them. "But what if I am not good enough for God?" he asked. Jesus smiled kindly. "Samuel, God loves you not because you are perfect. He loves you because you are his child. Just like a mother loves her child, even when the child makes mistakes, God loves you always." Samuel felt a warm feeling in his heart. It was new and strange, but also beautiful. "What should I do now?" Samuel asked. Jesus said, "Believe in God's love. Live with kindness. Forgive others Help the poor, speak the truth, and every day thank God for the life He has given you. Little by little, your heart will be full of faith. Samuel stood up. He felt lighter, like a heavy stone had been taken from his chest. He said, "Thank you, teacher. I will try." Jesus touched Samuel's shoulder and said, "You are not alone. God walks with you, always." Samuel went back to his home. He began to pray every morning. At first it was hard. His old fears came back sometimes. But Samuel remembered what Jesus had told him, to trust like a child, to speak to God as a friend. As the days passed, Samuel's heart grew softer and stronger. He became more patient with his neighbors. He helped the sick and gave food to the poor. He forgave people who hurt him. And every night, he thanked God for His love. The villagers saw the change in Samuel. They came to him and asked, "What happened to you? You are different now." Samuel smiled and said, "I met a man named Jesus. He taught me how to believe in God." And so the little village by the hills became a place of kindness, love, and faith, all because one man opened his heart to God.